enforcement on their behalf. It's going to be very interesting to see the way this plays. I think it's a fascinating issue, and it will be very interesting to see how it plays out. I think, my own view, let's start with everybody getting the $1,000, but incentivize more the benefits that can be given to those at the lowest end of the ladder, because I get this point. Otherwise, when everybody gets to 18, that's the way it looks. Silicon, your social media reaction by commentary plus are streaming services, paywalls, and TV bundles making it too expensive to watch and enjoy live sports. The answer to how much it costs today to be a sports fan is next. Please make sure you're voting on today's poll question at sportcottage.com. Will the United States endure for the next 250 years? Subscribe to my free and earn the obviously, when I began here at CNN a decade ago, more than a decade ago, if you could believe this, we would record the program on a Friday, and it would air Saturday morning and stand up to being replayed Saturday afternoon. What changed that? 2 words: Donald Trump. Gone are the days of a slow news day on his watch. It just doesn't happen anymore. So I understand. More social media. What else came in during the course of the program? The reason being, okay, this is yes to the question of will we endure for the next 250 years? Yes. The reason being, we enjoy our freedom. There's no other country on the planet that you have as much freedom as you do here, especially with the First Amendment. Most countries do not allow anything like that which is tolerated here. So Mike says because of the Bill of Rights, the first 10 amendments to the Constitution, namely the First Amendment, that's going to be our saving grace. I have to say, feeling patriotic at this time of year in recognition of the nation's birthday, I often think, could you gather any collection of young men, they were young men, who are in their 20s, and put them in a room and have them hash out a document like the Declaration of Independence or the Constitution to the United States? It's really rather remarkable. And the document that they created, I think, has been key to the enduring nature of the country. Hopefully it continues for at least another 250 years. One more social media, if I have time for it, I think that I do. Smirkanish, I think there is a difference between testing for genetic defects and trying to alter genes. Trying to alter genes is horrifying. Eliminating genetic defects is advancement. Right, I get it, except what if we're evaluating what the genetic, I'm not too, I want to be careful with my words so that I don't misstate something. We're evaluating the genetic characteristics that are known to us. And now a decision is being made as to which embryos will be made viable based on eye color or hair color or height or certain of the other superficial characteristics. That's when, for me, it moves beyond the wise and the preventative into the realm of eugenics. It's scary stuff. It could be wonderful stuff, but it's also scary. And where exactly that line may last, and how about the fact that it's largely unregulated? And I wonder, I should have asked Dr. Kaplan, is it too late for regulation now? It's almost like reining in nuclear weapons, How do you do that if North Korea decides to go in its own direction, or Iran? I want to remind you, make sure you're going to smirkanish.com and voting on our July 4th weekend poll question. Will the United States endure for the next 250 years? Ahead, does streaming live sports ruin the opportunity for more Americans to, mingle? We're tackling that issue and why the shared experience of American sports might be crumbling. When you're voting on the poll question, please sign up for the free and worthy daily newsletter.
前方600米处靠右行驶，往 I-90东方向。现在靠右行驶，往 I-90东方向。
Today rose by 262%. For decades, sports played a unifying force in this country. Strangers could rush into a local bar and watch a game that was broadcast on basic cable. That's how much it costs to be a sport fan now. Thanks so much for being here, June. What's driving this escalation?
Of course, physically. Human events. But you can see there's a huge social aspect to it as well. Whoa! Can you weight them in some way? The social, the physical, the mental. Oh, that's difficult. And you get all three from this activity. To have a passion, to have something that gets you out of bed in the mornings. In Japan, they call it their ikigai. Sense of purpose. So that's vitally important. The older you get, the more important it becomes. Gotcha. Number one, you're up. Get in there. How long have you been playing? 40 年. How often do you play, okay, Paul? How often do you all get together? That's incredible.
Dr. Wilcox's research shows that this social bond, this sense of community, is essential for living a long life. And I can't help but think about how opposite it is to the isolation and stress I've seen in Tokyo.
Is there a secret to longevity we can find here in Okinawa?
I think it's a mixture of things. We need to slow down. We need to relax. We
me to de-stress.
We're playing gate ball today with people who typically wouldn't be getting out of their chairs or out of their houses in many places around the world.
Saying in North Carolina, at 70, you're but a child. At 80, you're merely a youth. And at 90, if the ancestors come over and say, okay, it's time to go to heaven, tell them, go away, come back when I'm 100.
I like that.
Pull up a stool and red, white, and booze this 4th of July weekend. A channel pouring you a top-shelf collection of rowdy country mixed with a splash of the finest classic rock.
Worried not only about the financial cost, but also the societal cost. Something you wrote, I'm going to read aloud. The result isn't just inconvenient. It's lonely. As access shatters, rituals vanish, as do the moments that make sports communal. A bar full of strangers cheering for the same team, the generational ties passed down through the seasons, those experiences fade under a system that dictates that the more you can pay, the more you can see, until the game disappears behind another paywall. Expand on that.
We're living in a time where there's so few things that people can actually talk about at the water cooler with a stranger on the subway. And sports is one of those last things that people can actually come around because it's something that happens in the real world. It's a current event. And it's not one of those things like a television show where those all used to be on the same broadcast network. And now everyone almost seems to be watching a different TV show. I don't know how many conversations I've had with a friend. Well, they'll bring up a TV show that I've never even heard of. Sports is one of those last things that everyone is still kind of following in the same way. And because of the way that the leagues are trying to maximize the amount of money they're making from sports fans through these subscription services, it's also just cracking the community that we see around these teams. I've had multiple friends come up to me about how they want to go to a sports bar and they've actually had to log in to their own YouTube TV account or some streaming service because the bar isn't able to actually stream those games. And when people can't take those moments for granted, that you can just go to a sports bar and watch whatever big game might be on TV, those habits, those small habits start to fade over time. And as a result, it's hurting sports bars across the country.
I so applaud you for making that point. Just a quick final thought from me. I can't find stuff when I want to watch something. Gone are the, now I'm going to sound like the elder cocker here, but gone are the days when you knew on what channel you'd find the hockey game, the baseball game, the basketball game, or the football game. It's not only do we not watch the same shows, but we can't keep up with all the changes in terms of where we can go to watch more. Thank you. The piece was great. I hope people will Google it and read it, and appreciate you being here.
Thanks for having me on.
Checking in now on your social media comments. You can follow me on X and all the usual platforms. Tough to complain when people keep paying the outrageous prices. Yeah, I wonder for how much longer people will pay those outrageous prices. I mean, I have a New Year's resolution that I've yet to deliver on, which is to go through with a fine-tooth comb my computer, my streaming bills, because I am a sucker. This is not sports per se, but the same subject. I am a sucker for wanting to watch a TV show, and I subscribe, and then I forget to cancel thereafter, and I'm subscribed all over the place. And you're right, it's like a mortgage payment. Remember, you still have time to vote on today's poll question at smerconish.com. Will the United States, remember now, a year from now, we'll celebrate our 250th birthday. Will the United States endure for the next 250 years? When you're there, sign up for my newsletter. You're going to get the work of illustrators that include Steve Breen, who drew this for the 4th.
SiriusXM Triumph. Get real answers with Dr. Laura.
No nonsense advice about relationships, marriage, kids.
Tough love.
It happened is not a phrase anybody uses when they take responsibility.
Inspiration.
Every time you go to bed with a negative thought, you have to match it up with a positive one. That's your new rule.
Dr. Laura, plus Megyn Kelly, Glenn Beck, Nancy Grace, and Dave Ramsey, all on Triumph. SiriusXM 111 and on the SiriusXM app. Amwako Boafo and Issa Diabate are creating a bold future for West Africa.
I'm not just painting paintings, I am reshaping my ideas.
African Voices Changemakers on CNN.
This is CNN. More people get their news from CNN than any other news source.
In a divided America,
Where do I fit?
you tell me, ask your partner. Abby Phillip brings all sides to the table.
Can you name one thing you do with
The hypocrisy is so rank, folks at home. Classes in session. To talk about the issues. Congresswoman, is false. The answer is 0. The policies.
What is the Democratic Party about? Can you answer that question?
And the biggest debates to wrap up your day. I hear what you're saying Trump believes in, but do you think it's a good idea? Newsnight with Abby Phillip. Weeknights on CNN.
Here in the Iranian capital, there was an increase in airstrikes.
You can see the scale of the destruction outside of Tel Aviv.
We are in a bomb shelter.
Look at this rocket behind me. This just came down.
Are you relying on Israeli intelligence for your assessment of the impact of the strikes?
What was really accomplished in those massive U.S. strikes?
Iran's leadership is hailing the ceasefire as a victory. Iran is going to be dominating your summit, world leaders. Is the war over?
Connections across Africa are reshaping business, creating opportunities like never before. On Connecting Africa, follow the network of deals, smart conversations, and people transforming business to bring the continent together.
This month, Connecting Africa through FinTech.
Our mission is to build payments for the next billion, and that looks at Africa and Asia, looks at Latin America.
Connecting Africa, only on CNN, in association with Afrexim Bank.